think this is a really important topic, simply because in conversations that I have with clients, and I think just even in reflecting on how my inner landscape is, we talk to ourselves in derogatory, mean, judgy ways, in ways that we wouldn't necessarily ever talk to another being.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Isn't that, it's crazy. I have this client who, he talks so terribly about himself. He talks about himself being so wrong, like always made the worst choices, and just being like a real idiot and schmuck, and he uses those types of words.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Debz and Moira with our Deliciously Motivated Mindset podcast. I don't always talk like that, just for the record. Never.
This is her announcer voice. Announcer persona.
Yeah, that's it. What do they say? You've got a face for radio. You're like, thanks. And then you're like, hey.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think I've got a face for radio. But anyway, I've definitely... Oh, see, there you go. What are we talking about today? Our inner dialogue.
Oh, hey, see?
My external dialogue.
Just, like, right into it. Stepped right into it already.
Straight into that one, but it wasn't inner, it was outer. Anyway. Today we are talking about what words do you use in your inner dialogue or external, as Deborah just did right there and then. Yep. So thank you for joining us, peeps, for an interesting one. An interesting one. If you've been here before, fabulous, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, where have you been?
Come on, welcome.
What's going on?
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, okay, and welcome.
It's about time.
Yeah, for goodness sake, what have you been doing that was so important prior to us? Thank you for joining us, because what we do is every time we kick off with internal check-in, internal, external check-in, and this is just rating ourselves on a 0 to 10 of our emotion, our PEMS, our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy around us. And a 10 is a 10 is you are completely frazzled, can't see out of your bubble. You want to pop everything to get out of the bubble, and you just don't even know how to pop. That's a 10.
Yep.
And we've been there. We've all been beyond a 10, I'm sure.
We have.
And if you say you haven't, that's a crock of... I don't believe you. And then there's a 0, and a 0 is just presence. It's just presence. No worry about prior, no worry about sitting here right now, no worry about what's in the future. You're just literally present. And it's like a love blanket, but it's not. It's just a 0.
Yep. Zen. Being just happy with the being, right?
Just happy. Yeah, exactly. Just happy being with the being.
Yeah.
So when we think about this, Moira and I rate ourselves at the start, and then we do a halfway check-in. Everybody does a halfway check-in, and then at the very end you rate yourself again, and there is no right or wrong in this number. It's just a number. You can change it any time. That's it. That's all there is to it. So Moira, where are you? What number are you?
I put myself at 1.5 on this one. Yeah. because you know my inner chatter is going blah 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 blah.
Well, my external chatter comes out more than my internal at the moment lately. So I'm actually a 1.5 as well. Because I would have said a 1, but then at the very start I was like, oh no, Deborah, you're beating yourself up already. And I'm like, whoa, where's that coming from? So I'm going to say a 1.5. That's it. That's as quick as can be. Actually, it was a little bit longer. And then that's it, done. And then we move on. So we're cracking on to what words you use in your inner dialogue, peeps. And I'd love you to get a pen and paper or a note-taking device. And here we go. Here we go. So Moira, kick us off. What words do you use in your inner dialogue?
I think this is a really important topic simply because in conversations that I have with clients, and I think just even in reflecting on how my inner landscape is, we talk to ourselves in derogatory, mean, judgy ways, in ways that we wouldn't necessarily ever talk to another being.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Isn't that,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
crazy. I have this client who he talks so terribly about himself. He talks about himself being so wrong, like always made the worst choices and just being like a real idiot and schmuck, and he uses those types of words. And in conversations, I'll say to him, you know, what would you say if somebody came to you, somebody that you cared about came and talked to you like this? And he'd say, oh my God, no, I'd be saying it this way. And he will always go into the reframe of, oh, things can change. And just because you made that mistake there doesn't mean you're always going to do it. And right. So this is why I think it's so important to just look at what kind of words do you use? Do you use words like, you idiot, you're a schmuck, you're stupid, why did you do that? Or do you use compassionate words? So this is kind of lifting the hood. I like to think about this as lifting the hood, seeing what's underneath.
Yeah, yes. And well, I'm going to say a couple of things here because there's inner and external, clearly. And my external often comes out before I even know, and then I go, oh, that would have been wiser to be an internal, but too late. But at the end of the day, whether it's inner or external, your soul hears it. So if you say, I'm stupid, whether you say it aloud or not, your soul has already heard it. So, and only when we go, oh, I said that aloud, and that's where your judgment comes in because someone heard me say that. But the secret is, whether it's internal or external, your soul will hear it. So I think when we go, oh, I didn't say that. And Moira gave me a tip once, and and she said, actually, what do you call it? Swipe? No, it's not swipe. Wipe. What? Oh, like we, you know, when you say something and then you go
cancel.
Yeah, cancel. That's it. I was trying to think, what is it?
I thought when she was saying swipe, I thought, what is she talking about? Because I always just say cancel.
Yes, I couldn't think because we've just been talking about the swipe. You know, that one thing that you swipe left or right. Yeah. We're not talking about dating profiles, just for the way. When I talked about swiping left or right, I was actually talking about the carousels on social media. But it's cancel. So even if you say it internal or external, your soul still hears it. But Moira has a little quirky thing that she goes, cancel. And it just gives yourself a little giggle to cancel that. Now, your soul has definitely heard it already, but it's a fun way to replace that. Oh, whoops, I heard myself. Cancel.
Yeah.
Just to swipe it out of the way.
Because your soul also knows that you have free will, and it says you can hold on to it or you can let it go. Yeah. And so that's the key. That's kind of where I'm coming from when I say cancel. It does make you smile, but it also brings
it changes
to your
whole
conscious
state.
Yeah. Brings to your conscious awareness, because that's the thing about what words do you use in your inner dialogue? Well, at the very beginning, and I know for myself, I used to use dreadful words to myself. They were so mean that it's unbelievable the way I used to talk to myself. and it was all about hurry up and look after other people, and not like really immersing myself in the idea that self-care has to come first in order to be of service to others. So that's the thing about, we need to understand that we all deserve our own compassion. In fact, we actually all need to become our own best friend. So the words that you use in your internal dialogue, dear listeners, are they the same caliber of words that you would use when you talk to somebody you loved or cared for? It's an open-ended question. Just watch it.
I'm just looking blankly at Moira. It's not actually blankly. It's like, okay, she nailed me on that one. Okay, I can hear that. I can hear that. And I think that, you said the self-care of self, or the self-care, that is so important, because we often give our last breath to other people, or we're like, I'll just do one more lap around the thing to get that, to do that, or for my coach or whatever it is, I'll just do that last thing. And we can, I'm not going to say kill ourselves in the well, actually this time you can, but we can take it out of us. We can give somebody our last piece of bread so we starve. Be aware of that self-care of you, because you are the most important person. And even if you're a parent, you are the most important right here. Or even if you're whatever it is, everybody's replaceable. Everything's replaceable. I think about, people who go to work and they go, I've got to work till midnight because this has to be done. Well, what if you don't work till midnight and is somebody else going to come in and take over your job? Yeah, they are, because that happens. If you end up burning bridges at both ends and you burn yourself out, they're going to put someone in to replace you, and they're going to do it their way. So we're so fixed on an outcome sometimes that we're not looking after ourselves with our self-care.
But that's the key piece, though, right? Is that it's like we've all been brought up, it's a lie, that self-care has to come first in order to be, and you said about being parent, parents have to look after their own self-care needs before they step in to look after their children, because when we
not according to society, according to when I had, everyone's like, no, you must do this and you must, feed your child and not feed yourself. And I was like, well, actually, we can both just have half that food, or give them a little bit more. But it is, society tells us you must put children first, or you must put old people first, or you must, all those things.
I think I'd like to reference the
Titanic, where all the women got on the plane. Oh, sorry, okay.
The security, the safety talk that we get on planes.
Oh, yes.
So you see, and this is the perfect analogy for what I'm trying to say, is that, and for the longest time, I thought that it was that you'd put the air mask on yourself first if you were traveling with children. And so I always thought that it was that. But then I started to realize it was, no, you put it on, regardless of, even if you're traveling on your own, you put it on yourself. And here's why. Because what good are you to your child if you passed out? Right? The plane's crashed and you're like, oh, child, you take the oxygen and you're deprived of air. What good are you to your child? Sure, you might feel good because you've attended to your child's needs right there, but you are so much more to that child when you've
suddenly become a burden to somebody else.
Yes,
as well.
Yes. But the other thing, and I have had this conversation so many times, is that, and to your point, Deb, society says that we do need to put our kids first. In my case, it's a fur baby, and I do put her first. No, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
When we put the needs of others above our own, over a period of time, resentment will set in. And like I said, the amount of times I've had conversations, people totally, they'll start nodding their head. Yep. They'll start, because you see, if you're running on empty, you're getting completely depleted. And then you're starting to say, look around at all these people that you're looking after, you're cooking and cleaning and do the laundry for and picking up after. And you're thinking, dang it, can't you see the sacrifice I'm making for you? Well, of course they don't. And why would they? Because
they're just saying the
just
job's
like,
done. What?
yeah, that's
You're
great.
not
I've got this.
complaining or you're not using any dialogue. You're just doing it.
Yeah. So that's how come. And I still have conversations with people that have this it's really, really integrated in them that selfish. I can't be selfish. So what my invitation is in this regard, and this is an inner dialogue piece, find a word that you can feel okay with. Could you say something like, I need to put myself first in order to be of highest service? Feel that. Doesn't that has such an inspired, uplifting way of talking to myself.
And a thoughtful, yeah.
Yeah. But it's
that's
also
not going to
recognizing.
That's not going to throw you off kilter.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's also acknowledging that I am here to be of service to others. That's my mandate in life. But I have to put me first in order to do that.
I think when you were talking about that, I was thinking of jobs. I've had many people come to me and they've said, there's a new job coming up. And so I'm just showing, I'm working till, I'm supposed to clock off at 6 o'clock and I'm working every night till 10 o'clock and I'm burning myself out, to be recognized for that promotion.
Right.
Just for the record, people, they've already seen.
Yeah.
They've already seen you. If you've been in that role for 10 years and now suddenly you're working from 6 till 9, they've already seen you. And if you have to do another 3 hours for 5 nights a week to be seen again, there's a problem already for you.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen is they're going to bring in someone else who's going to not have to work overtime. And they're already going to and that's when that resentment sets in, definitely. So everybody is replaceable.
Yep. Everybody
and everything is replaceable. And it just comes into a different form. And I think that inner dialogue, and it's not a self-righteous say to go, well, I'm not going to work anymore because, I'm replaceable. That's not it. That self-care is actually really, really, really important.
Absolutely.
And do what, I talk about my glitter bomb often. If I'm feeling myself depleted or anything, I'm like, I've had no glitter bomb today. I've realized, I've just been doing something in such a mundane way. And I'll go have my sparkling water, because I drink out of a water bottle, my sparkling water, I'll have it in a glass, or I'll have it in a wine glass, or I'll have something different. I'll just go do that one thing that sparkles me up, that glitter bomb. I sprinkle myself in that. And it's only when I feel I'm not looking after myself. So that inner dialogue, is also my energy. And I've gone, I've just done this repeatedly for 4 hours in a row. No wonder I feel my energy is depleted.
Yeah.
So ensure that you're doing something that is a glitter bomb. Sprinkle yourself in glitter. Yeah. Once, twice, 3 times a day, because that is your, what am I doing for me? What am I doing for me? I know Eddie Murphy, there was a couple of videos, Raw and Delirious. I remember growing up with those. And one of the things he says, what have you done for me lately? And it was a very inappropriate. I don't encourage people to listen to it because I can't quite remember most of it. It was very funny back then, probably not so funny now. But it was, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me? And we're looking at for that fair exchange. And that's when resentment does come in. So look at what you have done for you lately.
Yeah. Yes, because you are your own priority, right?
Yeah. Totally.
I love that.
But I am a firm believer of my glitter bomb,
and I think that is such a beautiful component of a self-care kit, right? I mean, that's why Deb and I both get our nails done. That's part of our glittery self-care.
And we compare. And we compare. We're like,
you do.
Look at what you've got. Look at what I've got. Oh, yours are cute. Yeah. Mine are cute too.
They are cute. So I want to open up into the next tip here is what words do you use in your inner dialogue? I'm going to tell you a word that ought never be in your internal dialogue. And that is
it a 3-letter word?
It is a three-letter word. And that is why. WHY. Now, a wee caveat here. It's important to understand that there are certain times it's what's his name? Simon Sinek. He talks about your why.
Oh, yeah.
And that's your purpose, your life purpose. What is your why?
That's a different why.
And that's okay. We can have conversations about that. But when we ask ourselves, why do I keep doing it this way? Why do I keep missing that appointment? Why me?
That's my favorite.
Yeah, why me? Why is this happening to me? You see, when we ask ourselves those kinds of conversations, those types of questions will always lead us down a spiral. And I think of it like circling the drain. It's a downward spiral. And you're going to end up saying, oh, it's because I'm stupid. Oh, it's because I suck. Oh, it's because I'm an idiot. Oh, it's because I deserve this. I did something wrong or pissed somebody off. So it's always going to lead you there.
I think that, because this is karma.
Yeah.
This is karma.
This is karma.
I'm like, okay, whatever. You can think about that, but let's just get off that wide path, because it is an endless cycle. You're right, 100%.
And so that's why. So here's the thing, and here's another invitation that I'm going to give, is because that one, if you're really programmed to ask why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is that not happening? Why is this running late? So pause. We want to do a bit of a pattern interrupt here and reframe why questions into what. What is the purpose of this? What's the gift of this? What's the learning here? What's the opportunity here? What do I get to do? What's the excitement here? What's the beautiful gift here? You see, feel that. Even when you're saying that, I don't know about you, but they land at my heart. They feel so much more, instead of that why downward spiral, they're kind of like, oh, this is just a piece of my life. What is here? What does it? And even if you, like, say if you had a problem and you're not sure what the solution's going to be, you could say to yourself, if I don't know the answer, or what would the answer look like if I did know? That's a really cool question to ask yourself sometimes. If
You've said that one to me before, yeah.
Yeah. But so that's my sort of tip. Tip A in this one is drop the use of why questions, and the second one of that part is to reframe why questions into what. What is the gift, right?
And I had to giggle because I wrote down when you started talking about why, is what words do you use in a dialogue. I wrote down, what am I grateful for now?
Yeah. Beautiful.
And so when you're like, reframe it to what, and I'm like, well, I've just written
what am I
grateful? Yeah, and I didn't just say what am I grateful for in my life or whatever in the past. What am I grateful for right now?
No, yeah, I like that.
Because right now, if you're in that pickle or in that whoopsie moment, what am I grateful for right now? Nothing. Because you can say, what am I grateful for in my life? Oh, I'm breathing, or
the sun shining, or fire.
What are we grateful for right now? Right now. You're grateful for having internet and listening to the podcast, or being able to listen to the podcast, or any of those things. I'm grateful that my friend introduced me to this. What am I grateful for right now? And that instantly takes you out of any pickle.
Yep.
Now sometimes you can sit there and go, there's nothing, and that's when you're sitting in your brain space. Hand on heart, when you feel yourself getting into that pickle, maybe that's when you feel yourself saying that inner dialogue, God, I'm dumb, or I'm stupid, and it comes out in that energy tone, then put your hand on your heart.
Yep.
You can feel that. What am I grateful for right now? I'm grateful I can feel my heart. I'm grateful that I've got something to do after this, or I'm grateful that I can drive and the traffic's not bad, or I'm grateful that I can afford petrol, or grateful I can't afford petrol, so then I'm not driving everybody else around. Like whatever it is, what am I grateful for right now? But hand on heart's a great one to shift that inner dialogue when you're going, duh, oh man, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Says Deborah.
Says Deborah. Deborah's been saying that a bit too much.
I have, yeah. Yeah, duh. Like, duh, did you hear yourself? Yeah. But the moment I do hear it is I can pull myself straight out of it.
Yeah.
Because and I think that's the other thing is seen, heard, and acknowledged. You want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. And the moment I go, duh, oh, Deborah, you've done it again, duh. I'm like, ha. And I'm straight out of that. I'm not going to sit in that duh space.
Yep. So in actual fact, that is a tip on itself, that seen, heard, and acknowledged, because the inner dialogue can actually sometimes help you see an aspect of yourself that you haven't seen or heard or acknowledged.
Yeah. And you can shift your perspective.
Of course you can. So that's something else that, as an add-on tip to that part, is that something that I really encourage people to do. I often say this to my students, is that if you have an inner dialogue that's being critical, that's saying that was stupid, or why did you do that again, or is once you recognize, because that aspect of you needs to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. So instead of trying to stuff it down or keep telling it or say, why does this always, because remember, we're not using why.
Yeah.
Just say thank you. Just say thank you. So the inner critic's going blah, 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 blah. You're never going to amount to anything. Say thank you. When we say thank you, because you see, this is that inner critic, that inner saboteur voice, if you like. It's part of our amygdala, our limbic system, if you like, which is programmed to keep us safe.
Yeah.
Right. So the inner dialogue says, oh, you don't want to be looking stupid in front of other people. What would other people think? Right. And so if you've got that going on, you just sort of say, thank you, inner critic. Thank you, inner saboteur. I know that your job or your focus is to keep, is to keep me safe, but I'm good right now and I've got this. I love that. That's the perfect, feedback to that inner critic is, thank you so much. I get your job, but I've got this. I'm good.
You don't dismiss it. Yeah. And that is part of that seen, heard, and acknowledged, and then I guess that labels into that one word starting with T and ending with T and is trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Yes. So the piece is that you trust the inner, you acknowledge the inner critic because you know where it's come from, but also to trust that you have got this. Every situation that we find ourselves in, we have the capacity to get through it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in it. Right?
Yeah, I think I was just thinking as we were talking about that, you hear other people say, oh, I'm stupid or whatever, and you jump onto it, you jump onto them, but at the end of the day, you're not there to fix their life.
No.
And their life is not broken. They're there to rule their life their way. You can definitely say certain things, but you're not there to, and I'm not saying it's not my monkey, not my circus, because when someone goes, oh, I'm so stupid, I do want to jump in and go, and I'll say, oh, I said that to myself this morning, and I quickly turned it around and said, actually, where are you intelligent?
Right.
So you're not telling them to do things, but you're educating them in a way that's not going, you know, you are stupid, or no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. Because people can say things like, if I say I'm stupid, people instantly, we all want to go, no, you're not. You know, no, you're not. You're amazing. You're that. And you can hear 20 people say to you that you're intelligent in this, but you actually have to see it and feel it and shift it within yourself. Nobody can tell you that you're intelligent if you seriously think you're stupid. And so it's not our role to fix others, because no one's actually really broken. That's their own journey. They're on that. But just be aware of how you engage with others without making them dependent on you. Does that all make sense?
Yeah,
completely. So I sum up like 20 points into one. So I feel my head's racing so far ahead, and I'm trying to consolidate that. That makes sense?
No, it did 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So being aware of that, and to your point, we don't want to see people suffering. And so
no,
that, I mean, somebody going around saying, oh, I'm stupid, is a form of suffering in my mind. And so, but here's the other part that I fell into when you were saying that, is that we all have what I call the mosquito of doubt.
No.
And so this is going to be in your inner dialogue, right? So the thing is, and like you just said, if you had 20, 30, 40 people saying, oh, you're so this, you're so intelligent, you're so successful, you're so, and you internalize that, but your inner dialogue is like, and that's why I call it the mosquito doubt, because it's actually kind of it's kind of irritating, and it's like at the back of your head, like, yeah, but they don't know all the times that you screwed up, or that you failed, or that you dropped the ball over here, and they don't know that. So we'll just say thanks for the words. They're just words, because I know the truth internally, right? Yeah. So the mosquito of doubt, you gotta maybe have some appreciation. Thanks, mosquito of doubt. I'm gonna swat that mosquito. So stop talking.
Yeah, I know that mosquito of doubt too, and it is that, because people can tell you you're intelligent. You know, you say I'm stupid, and they're like, no, you're intelligent, and you can hear it from a lot of people, and it's just a temporary fix. Hearing that is actually just a temporary, it's just a band-aid. They're just putting all the band-aids on and trying to give you as much love, but you actually have to find it all yourself.
Yep.
This is your well, actually. So apart from if you're working with Debz and Moira, I'm just going to say that.
There you go.
Because we word it, we don't tell you that you're intelligent. No. We do things, we word things differently for you to find your own intelligence. So if you just said, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb, I go, okay, that's great. Who are you comparing to? First thing I'll be going, who are you comparing to? Yep. And you can always look at the dumbness in that other person. Not that I encourage that, but you know, take that person down off the pedestal because they're so intelligent. But I go, so where are you intelligent? Where does you? I don't. I'm not good at anything. Okay, you've just said, you know, your children come home from school and they are struggling with maths, and you haven't done maths at school, but you can go, oh, what about this, this, and this? Oh, that's the answer. Or what about this, this, and this? Or you can come up with a solution. So people see that you're intelligent. Yeah, but that's not the same. It's like, yeah, we'll stop comparing. You know, and so unless you're working with Moira or myself, we can definitely show you those things, but we word it differently. So we're not telling you that you're intelligent. I'm not here to tell you you're intelligent. I'm here for you to find out where your intelligence is.
Yep. My first question, you were just saying who you're comparing yourself to.
Oh, have we got compare on here?
I don't think so, not yet. Compare's going to go on now.
Compare's on there now.
But what my first question would be is, who said that? Right. So if somebody says I'm stupid, who said that? And oftentimes it'll be, oh, well, you know, it was my grade 4 teacher. And
there's that story.
Yeah, it's my grade 4 teacher went, because I that's not on here yet either. See, that's on here now.
See, they're unraveling now.
Yeah, because sometimes those patterns or those little inner dialogue keeps going in. So sometimes
when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're 50 now? Yeah, but it was when I was 6 they told me that. Okay, right. Do you think you've changed
Yeah,
since
do
you
you
were
think,
6 years
and
old?
that person's like probably in Timbuktu and you're over here,
That
and
person's
it's like,
probably still telling people because of their own intelligence. Yeah.
but that's such an important part, because, and I know for myself in my doing my own work, that I'll have something come up for me, and if I stop and say, who said that, it's like, oh, that was my dad. I don't need to listen to that. That was his opinion based on his beliefs and his way of doing it. I'm here. I'm over
That just
50.
stops it in its tracks. That's it.
Truly
Done.
does.
End of. Who
Mhm.
said that?
Yep.
And is it truthful? Wow, it's their perception. It's
And
there,
even
you know?
if it was truthful at that time, right? Because oftentimes these instances were like 10, 20, 30, 40 and beyond
I know.
years ago, right?
The amount of people who come to me and say, oh, I can't do that because I was told this, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, where, when, like, let's go back. What? And they'll tell me, oh, it was my teacher when I was 6. I'm like, well, I can't even remember half the stuff my teacher told me when I was 6. And in my report cards, it tells me, you know, I get all my report cards I've looked at and I've laughed over the years as I've read them. It says, doesn't listen much, likes to talk, would be better off to listen more and talk less, doesn't like researching unless the conversation's about her or whatever, or a sport. And I'm like, yeah, that's all me now. That's all me now. Like, ask any speaker what their report card said, or any comedian likes to entertain. You know, and it's just because you're not fitting into that box,
Right?
And that's where they struggle. You're supposed to be quiet and just listen to the teacher and not question the teacher. I mean, teachers must go, oh, I've got Deborah this year. Oh my God. Oh no, not her. We all had problems with her. She's a hot top. Little Jimmy. We hear about you've heard those little Jimmy jokes, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's a naughty little. He would be my friend at school, little Jimmy. You know, and they go, oh, I've got little Jimmy in my class again. Oh no. He always asks lots of questions. Well, little Jimmy's going to be the one who's going to rule the country. He's going to be the one who's not going to listen to other people's advice. He's going to be the one who's on his path. Yes, sure, he's probably also going to be on OnlyFans, but he's definitely, little Jimmy's just a naughty little thing because he's the one who doesn't conform.
Mm-hmm. But that's actually a really important part, I think, as adults, about our inner dialogue, is that we're not here to fit in boxes or conform or come up to other people's agendas. It's like, no, check in what feels right for you. Right?
Yeah. Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy. He's a goodie. He's a goodie. Yeah. What words do we use in a dialogue? I wonder what little Jimmy's words are. Well, I think of Donald Trump. What would his inner dialogue be? Don't listen to anyone else. He's definitely, don't listen to anyone else. You're either on my train or you're not. You know, you've got 10 people telling me not to do it. Okay, I'll fire those 10 people until I find 10 people to come back on my train.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you can like him or not, but I tell you what, I'd be curious to know what his inner dialogue is. I'd be curious.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would want that in my space at all.
I'd have to platinum mesh myself so it stayed just at that sphere of awareness. Okay, thank you for that. But that's one who doesn't listen to a lot of people. Definitely not.
So we're going to switch gears in a wee moment to wrap this one up. We've got some really good tips here. I just thought this is a really good one. What words do you use in your inner dialogue? And the key piece, the overarching theme that you're going to feel as we go through and recap these tips is they need to come from compassion and worthiness, because you deserve your own unconditional love. And that means the critic and the judge and the why and the all that stuff. You are perfect as you are. Each one of us is in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I love that. And I'm just reflecting on our first tip, you know, and it was the best friend. It was the best friend comment.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about, mean, derogatory, you know, and using those yucky words, would you use them to somebody else? You'd never use them to someone else.
Oh, I know.
You know?
And that's such an important part.
Yeah. And be your own best friend. Be
Yep.
your own, use those beautiful words to yourself. But yeah, that was, and just as you were talking then, I just smiled, you're perfect as you are. And I looked at the first tip and went, oh, here she is. She's just summed up our
Summed
whole
up.
talk.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it is. Yeah.
just because I like to put a wee bit of quirkiness and fun in these things, is that when I've dealt with this, I'll say to people when they tell me all the things that's going on in their inner dialogue, and I'll say, would you speak to other people like that? And oh gosh, no way, never, ever,
I know
ever.
they come back firing like never. Why would
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
I'm
Like
not that type
really,
of person.
really insistent.
Defensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so then I say, yes, but aren't you a people too?
And then they just want to go, oh, we've got problems with that internet. Goodbye.
And then no, it makes them laugh. Makes them laugh.
Yeah, totally.
Yes,
totally.
I am a people too.
Yeah, I am, and I'm important. Yeah.
Yes. So that was our first tip. The next one, I didn't say, make sure you got your pen, pencil, paper, note-taking device, because we're going to rattle through these tips. Deb just kicked us off with the first one. The second one, Deb was talking about internal and external talk, because we're talking inner dialogue, but of course, all external dialogue begins as an inner dialogue, starts as a thought, and then it erupts out of our mouth. So sometimes we're saying derogatory things internally or externally. And your point was your soul always hears that, gets that. But my fix to that, or my solution to that, is to say cancel, cancel, cancel. Be aware of it. Watch yourself, watch your patterns, and then cancel, cancel, cancel. You say, I suck. Oh, cancel, cancel, cancel. It's
just a fun turnaround. Just a fun turnaround. And your soul, I believe your soul would appreciate it. Go, too late, I've already heard, or whatever. But you cancel is just a fun turning away, turning it around. Yeah.
But it's actually admitting I am not those words. I am this sacred being. And so it's coming back home to the soul.
The soul.
Yeah.
The next tip I had is self-care of self.
Yes.
And Moira used that word compassion, having compassion for yourself. And she also went on to, and I remember this was your one, and you went on to talk about the oxygen mask, how important you are. And if you put other people first, resentment kicks in.
Yes.
That just sums it up. But I love that self-care of self. I love those wordings for that. And these are all really lovely. They're all just entangle. They're all just entangle into the one,
they really do. Yeah, we've been finding that with the last few episodes, in fact. That there's this tapestry that gets woven by our tips. It feels beautiful.
Yeah.
The next one, because I switched gears a little bit for our next one, is don't use that 3-letter word that starts with a W. We don't use why. We don't use why. Why did I do this? Why is this happening? Why is it always me? So if that is what's going on with your inner dialogue, it's important here also to have some compassion and see, can you reframe all why questions into what? What is the gift here? What's the learning? What can I do, as opposed to what is not for you to resolve or to take on.
Yeah.
So reframe your why questions into what questions, and really I'd love to hear from our listeners about that one. Because in my own experience, that why leads us down a negative spiral, down into I suck and I'm an idiot and I'm stupid and I'm not worthy. And whereas what is so heart focused of what? Oh, that means there's a gift here. That means there's some fun here. There's some glitter potential. So I'd love to learn from our listeners how making a conscious effort to change the why dialogue into what. How does it work for you? And let us know. Yeah.
And I love that when Moira was talking about the why, and then I wrote down underneath, what am I grateful for right now?
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. And gratitude. Have gratitude for the small stuff, have gratitude for the big stuff, have gratitude for the medium stuff, have gratitude. Whatever you want to label it, small, medium, or large, but what am I grateful for right now? Because that can shift in your perception. And I had another one that we've just missed off, I think, and I wrote glitter bomb. What am I doing that lights me up? what am I doing that lights me up? And make sure that you're doing something that lights you up every day.
Right.
Every day, more than once, every hour if you want, like just something that lights you up. Whether it's
Definitely.
light a candle. You know, I know when I moisturize my legs, I swear my body goes, thank you, every time I moisturize my legs.
I bet
You
it
know,
does.
what am I doing that lights you up, if that's what it is? And that is all part of that self-care of whatever it is.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think it was when you were talking about the glitter bomb part that we went and riffed on the idea of we all want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. And that applies to our inner dialogue also. All our inner workings want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. And so that was where I talked about appreciating your inner critic. You want to see it, you want to hear it, acknowledge it, and because you know that it's coming from a place of looking after you. Your inner critic or your inner saboteur or your inner chatter or even the inner propensity to say why. It's based upon keeping you safe. So when you can say thank you, I appreciate you, but I've got this.
Yeah. And I love that I've got this, because that's that trust that comes in. You know, trust is incredibly important, that we had after that. And one of the things I added was nothing's permanent.
Yeah.
Nothing is permanent. You know, we can shift our perspective with, you know, when Moira said seen, heard, and acknowledged, it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
And I can move on. Like, it's not permanent. Just because you have that label and you're treating yourself as quotation stupid or whatever that inner dialogue is, if it's a downhill spiral, you know, it can be moved. That's it. Like, it's not permanent.
Yeah. The inner dialogue is not who you are. You're the witness to the dialogue.
Yeah.
And so to remember that you are the witness to the dialogue.
It moves.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then it shifts. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
This next one that I have here is where you were talking about it's not our role to fix others. So to be aware, like when somebody says that, we've kind of really keep going back to that I'm stupid as the example. It's not your role to then go, oh, but no, you're not. You're really intelligent. You're so smart. You're this. Because I mean, you can do that, and as coaches, we reframe things. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's where I was talking about the mosquito of doubt. Right? Is that when if you go, it's I'm stupid, and people say, oh, but you're so intelligent, you're this, you're going to still have that inner dialogue, and it's a high pitched, irritating. You need to smack that mosquito, by the way, that says, oh, but you don't know all this.
You don't know that how much I've stolen this idea from someone, and I've done this, and you don't know that. You don't know all these things that I've had little sleep trying to get that.
You don't know the thing that I did 12 years ago when I was doing such and such, and I was in a completely
40 years ago. Let's go back to 40 years ago, and you're like, what? Okay, you're gonna hold on to that? Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, that's what the mosquito does.
Yeah.
So.
and then we actually came up with two very quickly, and one was no comparing.
Yes.
One was that, like, just stop comparing yourself to others. Oh, but they're intelligent, I'm not. Or they don't have that doubt, and I'm not. Or they always talk nicely to themselves. Please. Social media just only shows you one side. Like, stop blooming comparing yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Such an important one. And wouldn't you say that one, some of these tips like trust, I'm thinking, seen, heard, and acknowledged, and compare, they often interweave into the different topics that we talk about.
I know. Well, I'm surprised we didn't have them on. We're like, hang on, have we got that? No, hang on. I know. Yeah. And the next one we had.
Yep, the story.
It's definitely, that entangle, that needs to be would be wise to be in every podcast we have. Stories, definitely. Yours and others, and stories.
And so we talked about I think you said, what was it you said that you would say when somebody was telling you a story? I can't remember.
Shut up. When someone's telling me, no, that's when they go, oh, I'm not intelligent like them. I'm not intelligent like them. And that's what you could easily say, well, where are they stupid? Not that I would say the word stupid, because you're taking them off the pedestal, because what you're doing is you're basically saying that person is more intelligent than me.
Better than me. better than
Yeah.
me.
So I would say, so where is your intelligence? What do you do that people
Right.
say is you're
Yes.
intelligent?
Yes. See, that was the softer part that I knew you had said something about that because
But you
part
came up
was,
with that one was
mine is to say who said that, like
Yeah.
who said that. If I'm stupid, who said that, and is it true? So who said that could be your fourth grade teacher, and that
40
could be
years
40
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is it true? Well, maybe it was true then, but it certainly isn't true now. Right.
Yeah.
So that's such an important part. Stay present, and you don't have to keep playing the same old tape over and over and over again. Because sometimes using words that are derogatory in your inner dialogue, you need to just shift them. Because you are a worthy, beautiful, bright, gifted being. Right.
Yeah. And I know Moira said you are perfect as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that she said that, because we are right here, right now. You're in the most perfect place. And when we talked about stories, I actually said to people, reach out to Moira and myself, because we can help you with these stories. We can help you with your inner dialogue. We can shift things around for you without you even knowing it, and it's not painful.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll laugh a bit. But it's not painful, but it can be done.
It totally can.
Because this is what we do.
This is what we do. This is our life's work.
This is what we do for yonks.
For yonks. For a very long time.
Yeah.
My very last point here that I had was to not listen to others. That you are not here to fit into a box. You're here to fit into what's really possible for you. So really watching your inner dialogue become the full auspiciousness of who you intended as a soul.
Yeah.
That's the key piece here.
We do go on a spiral, and we know when you're on that spiral, it's hard to get out. But you are perfect as you are.
Yep.
Even if you may not see it. Yeah. Oh, well, there's our tips for today.
These were good tips.
Yeah. What words do you use in your inner dialogue?
What words do you use in your inner dialogue? And are they love-based? That's such
Are they sprinkled with glitter? Sprinkle them with glitter.
Definitely.
That's it. Well,
awesome.
Who's signing off?
I'm signing off. This
okay.
Yeah.
I was about to do that. I was about to sign, because I'm excited about this one. This is a lovely one.
This is a beautiful one. I love these tips. Listeners, we trust that you love these tips, and we would love to hear from you. So here's your next tip, your next step, your next tip.
Your next step. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We would love to hear from you, whether you comment on the comment, excuse me, whether you comment in our Facebook group. We would love to know, what words do you use? How do you talk to and about yourself? Such an important part. Also, continue the conversation outside of this. Inspire other people to talk kindly and lovingly about and to themselves. But we really would love to hear from you. So you can contact us directly, Debz over there, or me. We can do it through the Facebook, or you can do it directly through our personal emails.
Come and be our best friend. You want to be your own best friend? Come and be our own best friend. Yeah, definitely. We're up for that.
There you go. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we all did a rating. We'd also love to know what you were at the beginning on that scale of 0 to 10, and what you are now. And did it shift? We were both at 1.5 to begin with. Where would you put yourself at now, my dear?
0. Lovely and 0 for me.
Yes, I'm actually going to put myself at 0.5, because as we are coming to the end of this, I've got a little cough here. Little bit, and so I'm thinking, oh, maybe I've got mosquito doubt or something going on.
There's something. Don't spend too much time on it. Yeah, it'll shift. Yeah,
of course it will. Of course it will. But it's enough to just say
But of course,
yes, of course. So we'd love to hear from our listeners. How did this uplift you? What was your favorite tip? How is your inner dialogue? And of course, if you need some help or some coaching around letting go a pattern that's keeping you stuck or discombobulated in some way, please don't hold back. We are here to guide you and to help you see that it's actually quite easy and quick to find that beautiful balance in your inner dialogue. So that's us with our Deliciously Motivated Mindset podcast, signing off, and look forward to chatting again with you next week. Thank you, dear Deb.
Yay. Thank you, Moira. Thank you, Internet. Thanks,
Yes.
peeps.
Thank you, dear listeners. Thank you, Internet. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.